Let's do a TikTok, 1 minute each, about the future of hedge fund industry. Robert, 50 seconds.
So, I think the saying on our floor goes, this is the year of the hedge fund, only because we're sitting next to a $70 billion private equity business. But kidding aside, I think it actually is. Dispersion's out there. I think in the equity space, I think value has a real chance now of coming back. I haven't touched on macro, but I'm a big fan of macro. I think the, just biggest money that I can see possibly made is also in currency, which hasn't been as ripe for opportunity in the last couple of years as before. I think ultimately hedge funds still serve a purpose. I think the advent of managed accounts has made it a lot easier for institutional allocators to get past the operational issues, to mine data more efficiently. But I would say don't sort of count out private wealth, right? The amount of growth that can actually occur in our space is exponential. If you look at McKinsey studies and BCG and everyone else, the real growth in allocating will come from the private wealth channels, right? If you look at Mark Rowan from Apollo thinks, maybe ETFs and hedge funds and more liquid strategies could grow, but also the private equity business could grow from a private wealth standpoint. But so ultimately, I'll turn it over to Jackie, who I'm sure will have some funny things to say, but he's the TikTok guy. So
Jackie, you could tell us a joke too in 50 seconds.
Oh gosh, well, I was just thinking as a follow-up to my comments before about hedge fund managers. I think it reminds me of the Dos Equis beer commercial campaign. I don't know if you remember this from a few years ago, where this really wise person dispenses advice. And he said, one of the secrets to life is find out what it is you're bad at and don't do that thing. So that's the advice we have for hedge fund managers. Stick to what you're good at, make money there. But I'd say, with all the money that's been going into long only in recent years, private equity, private credit, it's been such a big sustained equity rally. Trees don't grow to the sky. Nothing lasts forever. There's eventually going to be some sort of repricing. It doesn't have to be a 2008 type scenario, but maybe it's going to take a catalyst of like rates repricing. Right now, nobody really thinks inflation is going to go up. If it goes up, rates are going to reprice. That could affect a lot of strategies. That could cause volatility. So I do think people are going to be reminded of the reason why hedge funds exist as an asset class, and there's going to be increasing demand for it, I think, going forward.
Thanks a lot. Art, maybe you cannot include any jokes because we have only 1 minute.
A giraffe, a cat, and a dog walk into a bar. Joking aside, I think the future of the hedge fund industry is bifurcation. The economies of scale that as a large manager you can get through investment in technology, investment in people are tremendous, and that's why we'll see the big getting bigger. But there's definitely a niche for ultra strategy specialization, finding something that you're good at and doing only that, put all of your eggs in one basket and just watch that basket very closely. And I think that's the industry will continue to migrate that way. You'll have very large players that do everything, and it's sort of like a commoditized, a single pool of risk that generates modest, low volatility returns. And then you'll have niche players in new markets that can be very dynamic, whether it's ILS or crypto or some other market that we don't even know that doesn't exist yet. Somebody who can hyper specialize and deliver really spectacular returns.
Samuel?
Yeah, I'll try to do a sprint. I started after the financial crisis in the financial industry. Hedge funds have been out of favor for quite a long time. It feels like they're back. It feels like we also see more interest from clients and the investors again. That's exciting. And also with some of the topics we mentioned today, what we hope to see in the hedge fund world is this alignment of sort of what the investors expect and what ultimately the hedge funds will deliver in terms of the investment outcome.